who represented the governor of Upper River Region, said this is the first time in the history of the Gambia that citizens are consulted before the adoption of a law. Jaune called for more participation and urged the National Assembly to capture the views and opinions of the public on the election bill.
The democratic processes of this country is actually improving so much. Involving the communities, the local people, the electorates in the decision making like this one is just something which I really appreciate. And I think all Gambians will appreciate these efforts.
Aminata Jaune is a participant and has this to say.
IEC should give chance to Gambians in the diaspora to participate in our upcoming elections because they are also Gambians.
Some of the key priority questions include whether or not the Independent Electoral Commission should be given the right to receive grants or donations considering their mandate, whether attestation should be allowed as part of the documents for the issuance of voters' cards, whether Gambians in the diaspora should be given the opportunity to take part in the upcoming election, and whether the electoral register of all voters should be made available at the request of any political party for free, amongst a range of other considerations. Reporting for QTV News, I am Omar P. Jallo.
The University of the Gambia Students' Union, in partnership with Liverpool John Moss University, on Wednesday handed over laboratory equipment to the UTG Schools of Medicine and Allied Health Sciences and the School of Arts and Sciences. The University of the Gambia is the highest learning institution in the country and is expected to be equipped. These 25 microscopes will equip the UTG and help students broaden their horizons on their areas of study, especially on practical aspects of research. Ramatullah Njai, Provost Medicine and Allied Health Sciences, says the donation is significant as it will complement students' efforts in their fields of study. She adds that collective efforts are needed for continuous endorsement for the development of the UTG.
Our Gambian colleagues who facilitated this donation, we're really grateful for it. We hope that they can keep the support going because that is the only way, with all hands on deck, that we can take this university to higher heights.
Usman Jassi, the president of the Students' Union at the UTG, had this to say.
We'll appreciate it as it will allow them to transform their theories into practical knowledge, because that is the essence of acquiring education in the area of physical and natural sciences and the medical and allied health sciences. So on that basis, as students of the University of the Gambia, we are happy and rest assured of our commitment, our responsibility to take good care of this equipment and to ensure they are used to the best of their utilization.
Over the years, the University of the Gambia students bemoaned over the lack of equipment and well-furnished department in their specific areas of study when it comes to practical lessons. Professor Dr. Fakir Mohamed Anjun, the Vice-Chancellor at the University of the Gambia, says plans are underway towards the excellence of the school and to promote science, technical, engineering and mathematics. Mohamed Haidara, the Vice President of the Science Students Association, applauds the gesture, adding that students still expect more to be done to enhance their studies.
Actually, practical base is really lacking in the University of the Gambia. The only school that we used to have in was the School of Medicine. But I would per se dilate more on the science student arena because we really lack that experience, because we have to be get involved. Because as you can see what is happening in the pandemic, coronavirus, you need this bioscientists to come on board, because this have to come from our area. This have to come from the science student arena because they understand how to deal with this microscope.
Professor Gomez, acting Deputy Vice-Chancellor of the UTG, says a consignment of medical equipment from India worth $6 million is expected to arrive soon for the UTG. Ajibintu Drame, QTV News. Artists can use their work to communicate positively or negatively. African-American Charmaine Minifield's painting preserved black narratives by creating public art in communities affected by gentrification and erasure. Jennifer Sonko went to meet her.
Charmaine Minifield's paintings can be categorized under activist art because they're about empowering individuals and communities, and generally in the public arena, with the artist working closely with a community to generate the art. Minifield says her purpose in the Gambia has been to connect to her ancestral roots through art and the indigenous creative traditions. After living in the Gambia for a year, she introduced her work in the Gambia last week in a colorful exhibition. She further elaborated on her motivation to paint.
I've been an artist since I was a little girl. My family encouraged me the whole time and I just never stopped. Most of us stop at around about 13 or 14 during puberty, and my family basically guided me through that by feeding me more and more opportunities and materials. And I continue to do it today.
Menifil uses indigo pigment oyster shells to make paint, and with mahogany, she decided to go as local as possible.
My artwork focuses on Black narratives, our stories, our family stories, our ancestral stories. So I'm making sure that our stories are being told by the images that I paint. You know, I'm an African American returned back to home here in Africa. So for me, my work is about reclaiming our history that was lost. I am trying to find my family, actually through my painting. Even the medium that I'm using is indigo as an ode to my ancestors who worked indigo on the plantations in the southeast of the United States, and how that trade skill came with them from these parts. So for me, all of my work is about our stories and my identity through those stories.
Charmaine enjoys working with young people and will work with 6 youth to create a mural in Talending. 3 will be young artists who look forward to building a career in arts, and 3 trainees. Together, they will paint a mural on a 500-feet wall in the heart of Talending on the youth center wall. This mural, they believe, will change the environment into a more creative and artistic one. She gave tips to young artists.
We have to recognize ourselves as entrepreneurs, and we have to acknowledge ourselves as the artists in our community and allow our community to embrace us as such and begin to collect our work. Start there first, right among family and friends. And then the word will spread. Seek opportunities that are not traditional. Don't wait for a gallery around the world or a museum, to invite you. Create an exhibition in your own community, and that will continue to grow your brand. Then go beyond your community. Find ways to connect, even online. There's so much right now opportunity through technology that we can continue to grow our narratives collectively in that way.
Charmaine has registered numerous successes. She completed a good number of community murals and was commissioned by the city of Atlanta to create murals honoring the unsung heroes of the civil rights movement. Her work also included project mapping and site-specific installations. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jennifer Sonko.
Quite amazing pictures there. Before we end, we will take a short commercial break. Still to come, we have more local stories, international and sports news follows. Do stay tuned.
Ramadan Mubarak from Ajib Bank Limited. This Ramadan, when you open a savings account with Ajib Bank Limited, you will receive a free passbook. And when you open a current or salary account with the bank, you will receive a checkbook for free. Ajib Bank Limited is the only Islamic bank in the Gambia, and we share profits with our clients. So why wait? Visit any Ajib Bank Limited branch today and open your savings account, current or salary account, and enjoy the halal beauty of Islamic banking in line with the Sharia. Ajib Bank Limited, your investment partner.
Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is QTV News. Now, the rainy season brings many challenges as well as opportunities. The National Disaster Management Agency and its development partners, including the U.S. Council for Global Development, on Friday discussed a range of initiatives to address challenges during the rainy season. This story by Loli M. Kamara is narrated by Ansumani Isunyasi.
The aim of the event was to create an opportunity to outline some of the initiatives the partners are working on ahead of the upcoming rainy season across a range of different sectors, including agriculture, education, health, disaster, and waste management. The National Disaster Management Agency is currently working with U.S. Council on Global Development to help in the implementation of the project. The Executive Director, NDMA, Sana Dahaba, disclosed that sometime last year, a scoping mission was conducted on the most pressing matters to be addressed, and a team of experts are back to share their findings.
Development and urbanization has completely changed the flooding patterns, especially around the urban area, coupled with our unregulated housing. In addition to that, indiscriminate dumping of waste is causing a lot of problems with regard to our response to disaster response in this country. This is why I take it upon myself to invite Ruben and the team so that they can come and see whatever assistance that they can provide within the overall framework of the National Development Plan.
The chairman of the U.S. Council on Global Development, Ruben Egolf, set out the rationale behind their mission.
Upon our return this time, there will be consulting with some of the largest companies in the U.S. We need to solicit more help, but we are filled with expectation. This is not something that we just come in and leave. We came in January, we're back now, we'll be back again. And we want to see these projects all the way to fruition. We want to see a change.
EGOV went on to say that they have other projects to look at.
We operate on the back end in just retention through our Leading Nations Incorporated, which is our NGO under the USCGD. That will be the channel for funding as a nonprofit for these particular projects. So the NDMA is kind of a leading entity in this, as well as we have other projects on board as well. And medical project, we had a deep discussion with the Vice President, Her Excellency, just a while ago, and working through some of those things in details.
Bishop John Augustine Bernards of the Pastors Intercessory Fellowship International, another of the partners in the initiative, has this to say.
The government of the Gambia, especially to the disaster management, Mr. Dohaba did not know them before, so we brought them here, and we presented the project of the disaster management to the USCGD. We presented the fishery, education, health, agriculture, the low-income earners unit, the hospital projects. We send them the executive summary even without the government knowing.
Officials were not able to give the start time or the overall cost of the projects, as they still have to consult with other potential partners. This will enable them to prioritize the order in which projects will be launched, including in which of their target sectors and in which part of the country. All partners are optimistic that once started, they will prove beneficial for the nation. Answane Sonyasi for KTV News.
The ECOWAS Federation of Business Women and Entrepreneurs on Thursday presented food support for Ramadan to the needy and less privileged. Ramadan is a month of blessing. Giving charity to those in need is very common and goes with a big reward from Allah. The Federation of Business Women and Entrepreneurs, February, presented the food items to widows, orphans and the needy. During the presentation, Ajindai Aissatou Jallow, FEBWI's president, thanked her association for their support and hard work and explained the challenges faced by the association.
Our main objective, as I said before, is to assist each other in need. So we decided, we did it last year, and we hope to continue this donation. We are all business women, and we need to expand. So we need to assist our members to grow. So normally we organize monthly meetings. We link members to finance institutions. We assist them.
Fatou C, the representative of the Minister of Gender, Children and Social Welfare, says other women need to emulate Febwe and empower each other to be well represented.
Women, we have to come forward and then take our stand. Especially we are in the election year. Come next year, we want female parliamentarians in the National Assembly, so that when it comes to decision making, they can be part of decision making. Yeah, unless and until we have our women in the National Assembly, decisions will be taken without our consent. I want them to also apply for the WEF fund. Those who have received the WEF fund, let them, when the time comes for payment, let them pay so that the other women can also benefit. Because we are anticipating to get another fund from the EU. This is just the Gambia government fund that we have received, which is about $11 million for this year. And this is, we hope this will continue. And yet still, we want women to continue their work that they are doing, and then we want them to also emulate what these women have done.
The 100 bags of rice, 100 gallons of cooking oil, and bags of sugar will be distributed in the Combos and the North Bank region of Farafenni. Mayor Mana, a member of FEBWI responsible for dispatching the food items to Farafenni, thanked the association for their laudable gesture. I would like to thank ECOWAS FEBWI. I am very happy with the donation. This initiative helps us and saves us the hassle and challenges we face. Thank you very much, especially the president of FEBWI. ECOWAS Federation of Business Women and Entrepreneurs was established under the ECOWAS Commission to empower and support women entrepreneurs in their endeavors, conducting trainings for youth and promote locally made products. Ajibintu Drame, QTV News. In international news, many of Africa's most precious ancient artifacts are outside the continent after having been looted. Many are in museums in Europe. In what has been described as historical milestone, Germany has announced it will return precious artifacts looted during the colonial era to Nigeria. The first of what is likely to be several returns is expected to begin next year. More in this report.
The announcement was contained in a joint statement published on Thursday, revealing that Germany is dedicated to substantive returns of Benin bronzes, artworks made of bronze, brass and ivory that were taken by the British Army in a raid on the Kingdom of Benin in present-day Nigeria in 1897. Nigeria's campaign for their return predates the country's independence in 1960, and the issue has often been a source of tension in relation with former colonial powers, such as a diplomatic incident in 1977 sparked by the British Museum's refusal to return an ivory mask on loan. UK laws forbid national museums from returning parts of their collections, which has proved a significant barrier. And the British Museum, which holds the largest collection of bronzes from Benin, has been a frequent target for campaigners. Meanwhile, Germany says it is committed to supplying expertise and funding to the new museum, which will house the returned bronzes designed by award-winning architect Nigerian David Ajayi. Citing the recent launch of the Knowledge Exchange platform for collaboration between Germany and African museums as a strong testament of its unwavering resolve to support the return process. Thousands of artifacts were looted and many of them have been scattered all over the world since. Meanwhile, Thursday's declaration received a mixed reaction from scholars in the field of restitution. However, many believe it is a step in the right direction and commended Germany for agreeing to what they describe as a historical milestone. The British government and British institutions, especially the British Museum, which is home to the world's largest collection of looted artifacts, have always refused requests to return them. Answana Sonyasi for KTV News.
Now, some interesting sports news. Fortune FC coach Jane Diouf has dismissed rumors of signing two former Gambia internationals. He made this revelation in a post-match press conference following their 1-0 victory against Marimo. Maudu Gajaga has more.
Over the last 1 week, the talk has gone viral on social media that former Scorpions player Mamadou Cisse, alias Zico, and Ibrahima Sohna have joined Fortune. This is how Fortune coach Jane Diouf reacted to the rumor.
Yeah, a rumor is a rumor. Sometimes people can have clear sources of what is being rumored as well. Seeing Zico and Sohna training with Fortune doesn't mean that they're going to play unless and until we officially announce to the public that they are going to play for Fortune. But at the moment they are training with us, so it's not certain whether they are going to be part of our setup in the second round. Although we have some inclusion of new players who are yet to be featured as well, maybe in our subsequent games. But at the moment, Zico and Sohna are training with us. We don't yet have the words from them that they are going to play for Fortune in the second round.
Fortune enjoyed a comfortable lead at the halfway stage of the league before Friday's game and showed no sign of relenting. Despite not being at their best, they still managed a win thanks to Ensar Keita's second-half strike. Marimo suffered their second successive defeat, although in this match they were the better team, having more of the possession and creating several chances against Fortune. Coach Mamadou Jallo is again frustrated with his team's wastefulness in front of goal.
Some of the chances they are missing in this game, you cannot teach them those kind of chances to score them. It's a matter of, concentrating, relax, and do the job. Look at the Fortune goal. You just relax and hit the ball where you're supposed to hit it. The second passing command, finish the goal. So obviously, some of them you cannot teach them, but some of them you have to go to the drawing board, told them we have to pull out the ball and we have to play the ball. So when we go back, we work on that.
GPA defeated Walidan 1-0 with Lawrence Barr's 11-minute superb strike from a free kick, making the difference in the other match. Mamadou Gajaga, QTV News.
Before we end this bulletin, let's take a quick look at our main stories. A National Assembly Joint Committee is on a 5-day nationwide public consultation on the Election Bill 2021. The UTG Schools of Medicine and Allied Health Sciences and the School of Arts and Sciences have received donation of laboratory equipment that will greatly aid their work. We heard from an African-American visual artist who is reconnecting with her ancestry by moving to the Gambia and working with local artists. In international news, Germany has taken a hugely significant step by returning to Nigeria Benin bronzes that were looted in the 19th century. In sports news, Fortune FC coach Jane Juve has dismissed rumors the club has signed 2 former Gambia internationals. Well, that's it from me in tonight's bulletin. Thank you for your company and have a good evening.